Hi, everyone. Welcome to our live 10 Questions With series, during which we sit down with business leaders and entrepreneurs to ask them about their journeys, their companies, and the lessons they've learned along the way. Of course, with the hopes of helping all of us in our personal journeys too. Today, I'll be chatting with the CMO of Boomi, Mandy Dhaliwal. We'll hear about Boomi's own growth story, how it works with NetSuite, and how together we're helping businesses unlock growth everywhere. We'll also discuss integrations as well as data analytics and how the changing business environment over the past 1.5 years has made data analytics more important than ever before. Hard to believe, but it has. I'm excited to dive in, but before we bring Mandy on, I want to remind all of you, as always, make sure to leave some comments for us. We're going to do a Q&A with Mandy at the end, featuring all of your comments. We'll get to as many of the questions as possible, so keep asking away. We'll get to them at the end of our conversation, and then tell us where you're tuning in from. Shout out to us. We want to also shout out right back at you. We know you're tuning in from all parts of the world, and we want to make sure that everybody knows where you're tuning in from. Now, without further ado, please join me in welcoming the CMO of Boomi, Mandy Dhaliwal. Hi, Mandy. How are you?
I'm great, Kendall. Great to see you. How are you doing?
I'm hanging in there. Great to see you too. I know we chatted about this when we were doing our little kind of run through, but you might have been the last podcast episode I recorded live with somebody in a studio before everything happened in 2020.
Yeah, amazing. That feels like 10 years ago.
I know. It's crazy. We're going to dive into a little bit of like the craziness of the pandemic and kind of what you guys are doing to align with that and help businesses continue to grow through that. But before we do, I do want to put you in the hot seat, even before asking you the 10 questions. I gave a description of Boomi, but can you give us and our audience the elevator pitch in your own words?
Sure, absolutely. So Boomi is the industry-leading iPaaS, and by iPaaS we mean integration platform as a service. We invented the space. We're the first cloud-based integration platform that created this category, and today we enjoy market leadership. We have over 16,000 customers globally and growing fast. We basically unify everything in your digital ecosystem. So data from devices, connectivity between systems, you name it. If you've got something that's sitting in a silo, we are able to unify it and get you the ability to make sense of your data and be able to move it and be able to build business processes and flows from it. So that's the English layman's terms.
Right. That's perfect. That's basically, that itself gives an idea of why Boomi and NetSuite align so well together. And again, we'll get into that in a bit. So I say we just dive right into these 10 questions. Are you ready?
Absolutely. Let's go.
All right. Starting with question number 1. Let's start with the Dell Boomi story. Can you tell us about Boomi's growth journey and how it became the company it is today?
Yeah, sure. So we've been around for a long time. We were founded in the early 2000s and went through a true startup trajectory. Interesting to note that our partnership with NetSuite spans back to 2007. NetSuite was our very first OG partner, as I like to call it, within our partner ecosystem. Today, there's hundreds globally, and we've had a real special place in our hearts for NetSuite. 2010, we were acquired by Dell Technologies and really operated as an independent business unit within Dell, and were given the investment to grow and broaden our portfolio from beyond integration into data catalog and prep capabilities that we have today, as well as workflow user engagement capabilities that we have today. So we've really thrived under the Dell brand and had a tremendous amount of investment and have been able to grow our partnership. Just last month, we announced an exit. We are now leaving the Dell business and standing up our own entity with investment from 2 major growth equity players in TPG and Francisco Partners. So we're going through the period between announce and close currently, hoping by the end of this year that we become that standalone entity and get into the next level of growth, which is really exciting for all of us.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, congratulations. That is very exciting to hear. And, we look forward to being part of your entire journey from here on out. I love that story. I love that we were the OG partner. And, again, it just makes sense the way that we align and the way that we, treat our customers and help, really accelerate growth for them.
Yeah.
Now, question number 2, research suggests that advanced data analytics is the #1 priority for finance teams right now. Why do you think it's so crucial now? What has changed to make it a top priority for so many fast-growing companies?
Yeah, great question. Our tagline is powering the data economy, right? There's a reason for that. Data is the new oil, right? We talk about data in all contexts of business, and obviously finance having the role they do in our organizations, they're at the nexus of that intersection of all the data that's moving throughout an organization. So there's this explosion. How do you make sense of it? How do you bring it all together to make meaningful business decisions, right? That's a real pervasive problem. And data is sitting at the edge. It's sitting in the cloud. It's sitting on premise. It's sitting across multiple systems, devices, you name it, IoT sensors, everything is spitting out data, right? So we're in this data decade, as we like to at Dell talk about it. So the problems that really surfaces for us is these silos. The data is not of any value to us if it's sitting in a marketing database or it's sitting in a finance system. How do you start to understand that real-time customer user data and connect it to buyer behavior and patterns, for example, right? That's a real problem. And having that access to that data is critically important. So how can you grow a business and thrive, particularly in an environment that we are hopefully soon coming out of as it relates to the pandemic, where you have to do more with less, right? And you have to be data-driven in your decision-making. I can't rely on last year's data to make investment decisions in my business today. So those are the 2 big things. It's the silos that exist across an enterprise, as well as getting that real-time connectivity and access to data so you can actually move your business forward.
Right. You can actually do something with it. You can pull the data all you want, but if you're not moving the needle for your business, then what's the purpose?
Right. And last year's data doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. Which kind of leads to question number 3. What are the finance data priorities right now, and how does Boomi help businesses meet those needs?
Yeah, I think, again, right, from a finance perspective, how do you drive meaningful ROI to your business, right? How do you either cut costs, streamline operations to become more efficient, right, and understand where you can get those efficiencies, right, across your enterprise? And then how do you find meaningful ways to grow your business? How do you find opportunities to cross-sell or upsell to customers that have a higher propensity, right? We all know, again, during the pandemic, right, there were certain sectors of business that just didn't move. Why invest? Right? How, as a business, can you understand where the pattern recognition is and be able to make smart bets? And CFOs need to do that because folks like me go to the CFO and ask for budget, and the CFO needs to have a barometer on what to fund and what makes sense for us as a business. So it's a true, data-driven approach to business. It's more important than ever.
Yeah, of course. And as we know, the CFOs are helping drive more decisions, big business decisions than ever before because of these reasons, because of, what didn't work, what wasn't working over the past year, and then what won't work in the future.
Right.
So I think that's huge. I love that you say I have to go to my CFO to get budget. So I better have, the data to drive those budget needs.
And then there's a third kind of emerging thing that's happening in terms of low-code app development, right? Like you think of your Uber app. I know American Cancer Society is a joint customer of ours. Yep. We worked with a third party to go build a rideshare app. So patients coming out of chemo treatment have the ability to be connected with volunteer drivers, right? We can do that from our mobile devices now. So our technology powers that, right? Yeah. So how does somebody know that Mandy needs a ride and she's going up the road to Spruce Avenue? Right. And people to triangulate not only where I am, where I need to get to, where I'm going, and who's going to come pick me up. That's very powerful. And that is all based on connectivity and data flowing. Right. So that's the last mile that we think of as far as user engagement and being able to deliver that experience to users. It's more than just middleware now.
Yeah, it's innovative, and as we look towards this kind of new age of growth, that innovation is crucial to continued success for businesses and finding, new realms to sort of dive into. I love that.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned kind of breaking down silos, making sure systems can talk together. So question number 4, how do integrations play a role in business growth and development?
Yeah, again, right, integration is middleware, right? And so what are we doing? We're knocking down those silos, right? We're breaking down silos that live in organizations. As business owners, we each have disparate systems that we all run that are proprietary to our functions, right? We've now started to, we've embraced shadow IT for many years as an IT community, as lines of business. There's a downside to that. You accrue technical debt by having all this data sitting in silos across your business, right? Again, customer data that marketing has, buyer data, quote to cash data that's sitting right in all these systems. How do you start to get a 360-degree view of your customer, your user, your student, your business partner, and really understand what the pattern is, what's happening there? So again, you can move your business forward in a meaningful way. That makes an impact.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I think that's really important. And a technology like ours unifies everything in that ecosystem, right? Irrespective, we have stories of miners and mines being able to take offline data and sync it when they get back into a connectivity zone, right? So data is the resource that it is most valuable, and it needs to be connected. So integration is a very strategic play now for the market at large.
And what are I mentioned you're the CMO of Boomi. What are your goals and objectives for Boomi as we move forward in kind of into this hopefully new normal?
Yeah, great question. I love my job. I love what I do. And for me, as a storyteller is how I view my role, right? How do I take these stories, these customer wins of them leveraging technology to drive outcomes for their businesses or for their end users? How do you take that and go amplify that so you inspire others, right? And use technology as the means to be able to go drive that human experience. I think that's really important. And also helping businesses grow, right? I'm a business major. I'm a capitalist in that vein. And so this was something that really came to me as a marketer. And I love doing this, being able to help companies grow. And I think this is where NetSuite and Boomi are very closely aligned, because we do a really nice job of partnering with our end customers and, making their goals ours and helping them through the strategic use of our technology. So, those are a couple of things. I could go on and on, but, really talking about those customer case studies and making our customers our heroes.
Yeah, definitely. That is exactly it. We align on this idea of unlocking growth for our customers, and we're going to dive into that. But I do want to take a quick second, because we're getting some hellos from all over the world, and I want to make sure that I let them know that we see them, we hear them, and we want everybody to keep shouting out and telling us where they're tuning in from. So we have someone tuning in from the United Kingdom, Roberta from San Rafael. Hi, Roberta. She's up north, close to you, Mandy. Luis Martinez from Colombia. And we have somebody tuning in from Mexico. Hello, everyone. Thank you for shouting out. Keep shouting out. Tell us where you're tuning in from, and ask any questions you may have for Mandy throughout our conversation. We have a couple more questions to go, but we will get to as many of your questions as possible at the end of our conversation, and as many shout outs as we can. So hello, hola, hi, everyone that's tuning in. Okay, so you guys are aligned with us so well on the fact that we're just empowering our customers to continue to unlock their growth. How do Boomi and NetSuite partner together? How do we work together?
Yeah, again, right, we define this as a blueprint of success for our partner program. And really, it's about understanding what the customer's goals and objectives are and getting to that stairway of sweet success, right? That first 100 days, right? Getting them productive and getting them successful. You can implement technology, but what's the processes behind it that you need to be able to provide to businesses to really leverage both of our platforms? So I think that's really important. And, our technology, the way we're architected, we're multi-tenant, we're cloud native, and we're able to deliver speed and agility, right? So there's inherent synergy, if you will, in terms of both of us partnering together to deliver value to the customer quickly and get them productive on our platform. So I love that we're both focused on that. We've also gone a couple of steps further in that we've invested in in custom solution accelerators for customers that are using Salesforce or Shopify or Procore. We're able to give them pre-built solutions that, again, add to that agility so they can be successful with their NetSuite purchase right out of the gates.
Amazing. And how would you say that we're aligned in terms of strategies and common goals? Like, why did it make sense for Boomi to partner with NetSuite and join our SDN, or software defined networking program?
Yeah, I think there's a few things, right? We're both very focused on helping our customers succeed. I think that's point number one. That speed and agility I referred to, right? We're able to go deploy our technology anywhere, right, to help our customers. I think culturally our organizations are very similar. Our focus is on diversity and inclusion, as well as, that entrepreneurial nature that we have as a part of our businesses really bodes well for the way we partner. I will say NetSuite is our second most popular connector. We have hundreds of connectors. So the usage that we get on the NetSuite platform, we've got 2,600 customers that deploy that. So again, right, being able to move from success to success, I think is, again, part of that entrepreneurial nature of our businesses. And the industries that we're able to go help solve problems for. So there's just a tremendous amount of interoperability between the orgs and again, that technological investment on both sides to drive value for our end customer.
Now, you mentioned, of course, like, we are customer first always. So I guess I want to ask, how specifically does the Boomi and NetSuite partnership bring success for our customers? How do our customers, both yours and ours, benefit from this partnership?
Yeah, I think it's that interlock between our businesses gives customers the peace of mind that there is pre-built best practices. Many thousands of customers have gone before them, right? So that's really important. We know what works. We've hardened our best practices, and we, again, are super focused on making the customer successful. So I think that alignment is critically important.
What's one of your favorite NetSuite and Boomi customer stories?
Oh my goodness, there's so many.
I mean, you mentioned American Cancer Society, which is a great one.
That one, again, yeah, that's just awesomeness at its best. I don't know if that's too many superlatives, but Green Rabbit, I think, comes to mind, right? They're a trusted cold chain logistics provider. They serve, I think, 6 out of the 10 largest retailers in the world, as well as 4 out of 10 of the most trusted global food and beverage providers. They work on a use case that I find really, really fascinating, in that Amazon is a channel through which these businesses go to market. And Amazon has this program called Deal of the Day that I'm sure many of your listeners, viewers are aware of, right? So your normal transactions for any sort of product on the Amazon marketplace would be a couple of hundred a day, right? But when you get spotlighted as the deal of the day, your transaction volume can skyrocket to 25, 30,000 transactions a day. And so how do you go fulfill on that when you're not ready to handle that kind of capacity? So a technology like ours, Boomi, becomes a secret weapon because we're able to help them scale to meet that capacity and be able to dial it down without any incremental investment in resource or labor or cost to them as far as the usage of our platform. Our platform, by virtue of the way we're constructed and the way it's deployed, allows these businesses to be able to go manage and go fulfill on these customer requests. So that's a good one, just in terms of sheer firepower and the ability of capacity that we're able to handle.
Yeah, I love that. That's great. We're coming up on our final question here, but a reminder to everybody that is tuning in, make sure to ask any questions you have. Shout out, tell us where you're tuning in from. We'll get to as many of your comments as we possibly can. But for now, question number 10, Mandy, what does the future hold for Boomi and NetSuite, our partnership, and what can our customers look forward to?
Yeah, great question, Kendall. I think, we're on a great growth trajectory as partners. I think it's deeper investment on both of our sides to, again, really get customers up the stairway, if you will, right? Making sure that we can get them on a path from when they expand their NetSuite footprint. Boomi has an ability to grow with them and really not lose access to that data that's vitally important for them growing their business and being able to, go unlock those silos and be able to make meaningful business decisions. So I think that's something that's in our mind's eyes as partners. So more.
Wonderful. We have a couple more hellos coming in. Manny from Austin, Texas. Hello. Brooke from Scottsdale, Arizona, and Susie from Los Angeles. Thank you guys for tuning in. Keep shouting out. We'll continue to get to as many of these as we possibly can. But now I do want to open it up for questions from the audience. We have one coming in now. I like this one. Okay. So in working with so many types of companies across all different industries, what's a big mistake you see businesses making with their business systems, processes, operations, etc.?
Oh, wow. That's a really smart question. I'd say, something we see kind of horizontally is you buy the tech, right? But the tech is not the silver bullet, right?
Yeah.
It's how you implement it and how you structure the process to use it strategically, right? Tech doesn't solve your problems.
Yeah.
So making sure that you've got the right plan as far as implementation is critically important as well for success in using these technologies. And, like I said, we've got 2,600 customer use cases that we rely on that we leverage with our new customers. So again, really starting to focus in on why you're doing it and how you envision it working for you to solve your business needs.
Right. And how to leverage it for, the best possible ROI. We hear that all the time with our customers. You can implement the best systems and software, but if you don't know how to use it, you're not going to get anything from it. Same with data. Right. Exactly. So yeah, that's great. Okay. What's unique about NetSuite and its platform for integrating?
I'd say, our ability to partner with NetSuite, right, to help make it easier and faster for our customers has been really unique in terms of our partnership. Our development teams get together and sync on how we can make the handoffs between our technologies work more seamlessly. We've got API connectivity between our two platforms that we've improved in the spirit of driving that time to value for our customers. So I think that's unique. We don't get that with all of our partners. So, really thankful for that.
That's great. I think we have one final question. Time for one final question here. We talked about this a little bit, but how should growing businesses prepare for the future as the business environment continues to change?
Yeah, I think this is something we as a business community, right, really need to have an open dialogue on, right? We need to provide democratized access to data, irrespective of your role within an organization. If we can be able to really understand that, irrespective of where you are within the organization, have that real-time data visibility, that's going to help us get all of our jobs done better and more efficient to drive the earnings requirements of the street or business goals, et cetera. So I think that's something that's really important. And that's what we've really kind of talked about today in this conversation is really the value of it and how to be able to leverage that data to really make your business more meaningful and more productive.
Awesome. Well, Mandy, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for tuning in with us. It's so great, as always, to chat with you. It's always been such a great conversation. So I appreciate you tuning in.
Thank you, Kendall, and I hope to see you at Sweet World in Vegas this fall.
Yes, end of October. We'll see everyone there.
Thank you.
And as always, thanks to all of you for tuning in. Join us in 2 weeks on June 29th to sit down with the founder of Tab Performance, Justin Flans. That's happening at 1:30 p.m. Pacific time. And again, that's on Tuesday, June 29th. Hopefully, I won't be sniffling then. Sorry for the tissue use during this interview. I'll be better by then. Thanks all of you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Bye.